Hello, Mark.
Paul, how you going? It's good to meet you.
Yeah, well, I'm very well, thanks, and good to see you. So we've not met before. We've been chatting a little bit on LinkedIn, and
And
found
although
out.
we are actually just down the road from each other.
Yes, we live in the same village, so we'll have to go
Yes,
for a pint once the local pub's back open.
absolutely. Yeah, whenever that'll be. There's one with your name on it for sure.
Excellent. Well, I look forward to that. So, thank you for joining me today to have a chat. So, we're talking to lots of different business owners. If you wouldn't mind sort of talking through about your business, how you got started, a little bit about your background, that would be great.
Sure. Well, I've been in the finance world for let's just say north of 35 years.
Okay.
But we'll keep it vague at that because
Okay. Yeah.
that would be giving too much away. But I started out in the good old days of twin lock double entry bookkeeping. And whether anybody is going to be old enough to remember that, I'm not sure, but it certainly shows your age. But was a great way to learn your debits from your credits from an accounting perspective, and to learn your trade. And from there, I work, as I like to call it, I serve my apprenticeship. In that I've worked as an accounts clerk, I've worked as a accounts payable, I've done accounts receivable. And I've worked my way up through the assistant accountant roles, the company accountant roles, right through to group financial controller level. So I've been there, done that, and have got that T-shirt. So when I speak to somebody about anything in the accounting world, it's nothing that I haven't done myself, couldn't do myself, and I would never ask anybody else to do anything that I can't do myself,
Yeah.
because I think that's the best way to operate. And so I got to a point last year, and I thought, no, I've had this business idea in me for a number of years, to be honest, but it's never really been the right time to do it. But now, everything seemed to have lined up. I say past tense, given the current situation. And I decided sort of towards the back end of 2019 that it would be good to launch my own small business accounting practice and bring that experience that I have in managing small business finance departments to the small and startup businesses that aren't big enough to warrant having their own finance department, and act as like an outsourced finance department, bringing different packages to different businesses to suit their business size, the business budget, and with cloud accounting these days, you can do that very easily. It's a long way since the twin lock double entry systems. It's so easy to do these days. And so, yeah, I thought I'd want to bring that to the table. It's an outsourced finance department. I'm not an auditor. I leave that to those that are. But I can take a small business account through the monthly management accounts, through to the completion of the year-end statutory accounts, through to the completion of the corporation tax return, the filing of all of that, the administration that ultimately comes with dealing with Companies House, and all the way through VAT returns, budgets, anything that any small business is going to want that will allow then the small business owner to focus on what they need to do is grow in growing their business. Because any small business owner is started their business because they have a passion for what they do. Mm-hmm. You have a passion for marketing.
Yeah.
I would find it highly likely that many small business owners have a passion for sorting through receipts, allocating expenses.
Yeah.
And so that was, for me, as however that may come across, that is my passion. Yeah. Getting that right. That's what I bring to the table. So, I would ask any small business owner, how long would they spend if they tried to do it themselves, and how much could they earn if they didn't have to do that.
Yeah, I think that's a bang on point. I mean, my business has been going for, well, it'll be 10 years next year.
Right.
And I have to admit, I was quite guilty of trying to do everything myself.
Yeah.
And, you know, and like you say, my time could be better served designing and doing something I enjoy than fiddling through loads of paperwork and scanning things and doing this. And like you say, it's evolved so much. I mean, I was printing invoices out and giving my accountant loads of paperwork, and it's just changed so quick with cloud accounting.
I mean, with cloud accounting these days, with the likes of Free Agent and Xero that I'm accredited with,
Yeah.
All you need is a mobile phone.
Yeah, yeah.
You take a picture of your receipt, it's uploaded to the cloud, you code it later. You don't need to go down to your accountant, you know, your high street accountant at the end of the year with a massive great box of receipts, say, there you go, fill your boots. And then he charges you a massive fortune because it's all in such a mess.
Yeah.
And the other point of actually using services that I would offer under the Skymark Financial banner is that it's all done during the year. Problems are highlighted during the year. Waiting, in any small business, if they wait to get their year-end accounts to actually see how they're performing, any problems that are going to be showing up, odds are they're going to be too late to deal with. You know, that ship would have sailed. Whereas if you'd have got a monthly, you know, after 2 months, you'd have realised, well, actually, need to look at that. And that's what working with Skymark Financial would also bring to the table.
Yeah.
And yes, cloud accounting software is easy to use. It's very intuitive, especially Free Agent, designed by non-accountants. So it's
good to hear.
It really is easy to use.
Yeah.
But having said that, what they can't build in anywhere is the years of experience that someone like myself would have, the study that's been, you know, you've been through. I mean, anybody could, you know, doctors, they have all that study, but anybody could go and try and cure themselves on Google, but it's that years of experience.
Absolutely. I think it's playing to your strengths. And we've seen that with what's been going on in lockdown, and we've seen that the importance of having somebody who knows what they're doing. Haircuts spring to mind for some of the people that haven't.
Well, I don't think we better go down that road there, Paul, because it's not something I need to worry too much about these days.
But I've seen some funny kids.
Not that I'm sensitive of it. I hope you've got your filter on to block the glare. That's all I can say.
But I was also saying that it is advantaged, you know, to outsource some of the things that you're not good at and you don't enjoy. And a good friend of mine says sometimes your strengths aren't necessarily what you're good at. They're really your strengths are what you're good at and you enjoy. So I might be very good at invoicing, but if I don't get energized and excited by it, then I'd better off channeling my energy into something else, or bringing someone like you in board that lives and breathes numbers. And
I mean, that numbers are my thing. You know, the word for you, words in marketing, that's what I'm learning now as a startup. I mean, I launched it. I got Skymark Financial set up at the end of December 2019.
Yeah.
And then I spent January and February getting all the infrastructure in place, becoming a Free Agent partner, becoming Xero certified, having the website built, and social media pages all set up, thinking I would launch on the 1st of March. Bob's your uncle, off you go, let's get going.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, the bottom fell in. You know, the world imploded a bit. So all you can do is suck it up, use the time to good effect.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm learning on the hoof, if you like, as to what works, what doesn't work. But in a way, that's the best way to find out. You can find out what does work, doesn't work. It helps you find out what does.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate timing, but listen, it's a learning curve, and I'm enjoying it.
Good to hear. I said, I mean, we call up on LinkedIn and say we've not met before, and we're chatting back and forth. And I think this is the time. I mean, say you're in a quite an unusual position of starting up. You've got everything raring to go. You're all excited.
Yeah.
And then, oh, okay. But I guess with you going back to the years of experience is using that value to, showcase your expertise. People can find out, they can chat to you, they can network online, which is a great thing. And things like Zoom and LinkedIn are very powerful.
Absolutely. I mean, we've got Zoom, we've got LinkedIn, the website's there. I tried to make the website, because what I wanted to do is not be the stereotypical accountant, whatever that is. A lot of people think of accountants, say, think of someone who's little dry, little dour, but I wanted to come across as as sort of upbeat, bright, not collar and tie approach. I would the website is done in bright, bold colours, because that's what I wanted to get across. When I'm working with anybody, I will always tell them what I think they need to know, because I think that's important in business. It might not be the answer that people want to know, but in whenever I've been managing finance departments in sort of maybe the 50 to 60 employee size business, where I've had 2 or 3 people working for me in the finance department, and then I've been reporting directly into the owners. I've always said to the owners, you will always get the honest truth from me, whether it's good or bad. Because that's what you need to know.
Absolutely. No,
I mean, I'm not frightened of making decisions.
No.
But those decisions would always be based with absolute best of intentions, and based on all the available information that I have at the time.
And I think,
so that's what I'm bringing to the table, really.
Yeah, and I think that moves across to any. I mean, I'm the same. Sometimes a little bit of tact is needed, isn't it? I've had some design projects where our job as the expert is to steer them and suggest, and hopefully they take your advice. And I mean,
sure.
I've said to people before, I'm sorry, I can't help you because I don't think you know enough about where the business is going. And same with yourself. You don't want them going down a road that's going to end up with loads of trouble in 2 or 3 years' time with the business.
No, that's it. I mean, the benefits of having, there's any number of articles out there, the benefits of having regular financial information on how your business is performing. The sooner you know about a problem, the sooner you can act on it. Yearly accounts, it's just too late. So, I mean, like I say, the packages I've got, it can be fine-tuned to meet the individual business owner's requirements. VAT registered, non-VAT registered, doesn't matter, cover them all. If you want budgets, if you want 6 monthly accounts, if you want 3 monthly accounts or monthly accounts. It's a kind of a pick and mix approach, and which can be carried out even though we can't actually, I mean, ideally I'd be sitting in front of you as a potential client with the laptop, asking you a series of questions, and at the end of the day I'll be emailing you a proposal straight across the table. But that can still be done now with the wonders of technology these days. I can have you as the client on the laptop and be working on the main computer, putting the answers in and sort of flitting between the two, and you can still effectively, it's a face-to-face meeting. So I think, although we're all in lockdown at the moment, I think it's fantastic that we have this technology to work with. Where would we be without it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think a lot of us have learned lots of upskilling the last couple of weeks.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I looked at, I mean, it's all about learning. It's all about playing to your strengths. I mean, one of the things I did look at when I was starting out was, you see these adverts on the TV about build your own website. I think GoDaddy is one, and One and One Ionis is another one you see advertised quite frequently. And they're all about get your domain name, build your own website, somebody on the other end of the phone. It's easy. It's not. I actually got my website built for me. I've fine-tuned it a bit, now it's there, but
Yeah.
it's a case of not knowing where to start when there's a blank canvas.
Yeah.
So it's about playing to your strengths, and if everybody plays to their strengths, then when this is all done, the economy is going to come out of it a lot stronger.
Yeah.
Everybody plays to their strengths and doesn't waste time trying to do stuff that they think they know what they're doing, and then getting in a complete mess.
Yeah, I learned that the first few years that to outsource to experts and not try and do everything for someone.
Absolutely, no, totally agree.
Great. Well, I'll share all the links to your new website, and people can get in touch on LinkedIn, and obviously today they can see the man behind the business. I've got
hopefully won't frighten people off.
Well, I've got a kind of killer question for you. I ask at the end, Mark. If you weren't an accountant, what else would you do, or what were you told you might be when you left school?
Oh gosh. Well, funnily enough, when I was at school, Spanish was a really big. I was doing A-level Spanish.
Right. Okay.
So I was really quite proficient and fluent.
Yeah.
Could just about order a beer now. But they say you retain the important things.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so I can see myself possibly having gone out to live and work in Spain, but the ultimate thing is I've always been a numbers-based person.
Yeah.
I've always been the black and white I love the black and white that numbers bring, the problem solving. So I think if it wasn't an accountant, it would have been something involving problem solving.
Yeah.
Where you can come to an answer that's right or wrong. The whole literary side of things, I'll leave it to those that have a passion for that side of things. For me, it's problem solving, it's solutions, and that's what I'm all about. Whether that's in accountancy or anything else, if you want to learn how to do something, you learn how to do it.
Excellent. Well, it's been lovely chatting to you today, and I look forward to meeting you in person, maybe over a drink.
Absolutely.
And seeing you lots of the different networking events that go on in and around Somerset.
As soon as we'll be out, as soon as we're allowed to get out there, we'll be there. I'll be there for sure.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for your time, and best of luck in developing the business.
Thank you very much, Paul. Really appreciate the opportunity.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.